behind. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
This one could be a doozy, and it could be a long fight to the finish. Dover has been known to bring it to the table. Will these drivers be able to hang tough? We're about to find out here. But the fallen, not forgotten, 132 in Dover, Delaware's Dover Motor Speedway. I got our name of the Crusader, Chris Trial, joining you guys here today, live here, as we are here right now on the track here, getting ready for today's action here from the Venom Truck Series. They make their resurgence and bang back for second race of the day for after their battle there at Daytona International Speedway. And it's time to set sail and see who's going to be the one that comes out on top of it all. So let's start them up on the pole. Ryan Dye in the 15 is going to be your number 1 seed. Outside is the 26, Eric Breeding. At row number 2 is going to be Flinky Robertson. The 3 is outside. That's the 76. That is Pascal Simrad. Row number 3 is going to be Michael Dean, the 73, and then the 2 is John Kay. And row number 4, Will Solomon, and the 99's outside. The 32 is Andrew Palicki. Row number 5 is going to be Michael Crowell, and the 11 is outside. It's 28, Rodney Roberts. Row number 6, it is Jeff Langston. The 21 is outside, Carter Joe and Joe Keel in the 25. Row number 7, that's going to be piloted down by Mr. David Vey, and his outside will be Paul Ellison, the 55. Row number 8 is Ryan Pittman in the 08 with Garrett Rainey in the 17. At row number 9, Jan Van Leer will be in the 5. His outside is Kyle Zietel. And row number 10, we'll see with Corey Rutfer, the 50. Outside of his row, Dylan Frazier, the 38. Row number 11, Brandley Gainey Jr. in the 22 with Kyle Dooming in the 18. Row number 12 is Carson Mitchell in the 4. Josh Maxwell in the 8. And row 13 is going to be finalized by our boys there with Tristan Underwood, the 90. Jeremy McKinnon. And the 12, shotgun in the field, Sam Dunaway, the 67. And race fans, the fallen, not forgotten, 132 is about to take sail and take aim in Dover, Delaware. If you're ready, we're ready. Let's hit the pedal to the metal and put the green flag on the board. Here we go. .132 laps to the distance. Ryan Dye 15 takes the early lead. Out of the gate here, Eric Breeding getting a little bit of jump around Pascal Simbrad here, and that 76 as you mile him up on the outside here. The number 2 is John Kay having a little bit of company up on the top side, trying to make it work up there. You're going to see a lot of angles here trying to get to that bottom, but main area is really going to be the troublesome middle end. That's going to be where a lot of guys are going to find themselves in trouble off those exits and corners, but if they can force the bottom to stay up top, that will help. They know it too. That's why they're trying to keep them from getting too close to getting up top early on. They want to force them to stay on a certain lane, certain spot. The middle has the best outside exits if they can keep the bottom below them. But if the bottom can get a run off and get a strong point to the outside exit of the walls up to turn 2 or turn 4, this is going to be theirs to lose really, and it's going to be really a stranglehold for them to kind of work around. Corey Rutherford here, and it's going back at the 50. As you see the 4 here, Carson Mitchell hard charging his way through. He's an animal, I tell you. This mobile 100 is already coming through the field, taking drivers left and right, taking their souls and taking it to them. Kyle Zittel, though, in the 53, stands tall, will not face anywhere yet. But it don't matter to him. He's going to come right for his inside corner panel as the Razor 53 tries to hang on him. Field getting more piled in here. It's still on the hard charge there. Ryan Dye, remember that 15 got an early jump start, got a great positioning out of the gate, took the early lead, but he knows that cannot last forever. He's going to have to be very careful about his strategy and his timing here, as he's still got a murder drill behind him. Look, let's take this one away. And you can just see the distance here Dye has got on this field so far. With Flinky Roberts and Eric Breeding kind of looking on from behind. I gotta believe a little bit of that temptation is kind of drawing near to really see how long his tires can actually hold up. But being the #1 qualifier though, that definitely helps out for the long haul, because that actually means he can pretty much kind of escape the mess behind him and go from there and drive away from there from that on. Pascal Simrad here, the 76 now dealing with that 32 of Andy Palicki right below him there on the bottom lane, as you see Palicki rocking and rolling with some American colors, still keeping a traditional stake going for the Wounded Warrior project, as well as representing for the Memorial Day weekend that we have just had come and go here. So very big kudos to him. As the Ford F-150 moves, chains up into the bottom now, taking right up to the sole of the 2. John Kay trying to hang on. And trouble down there, unfortunately, though. Caution flag going to fly on out. David Fay with problems down on the track here in the 88. Fay comes to a dead stop here, unfortunately. That will slow down the field once more, so we'll have to get them re-racked, restacked, and all that, and structurally put them back on the spot. Time to take a look at the PTM Instant Replay, though, and see what exactly transpired here for David Fay, as he looks to have found himself in a bit of a bad omen here. Came off down on the back straightaway here and had that 12 right behind him here. 12 Jeremy McKinnon, unfortunately clipping him just the slightest bit too much, and ends up getting sent packing back to the shadow realm, if you will. Nowhere to go and nowhere to get away from it. Unfortunately, he knew it too. One more look at it. Got taken by a few guys down there, as a little bit of a wreck or two kind of gets all these guys squared up. Well, that doesn't get you going, get your heart going a little bit more though. I don't know what will. Field currently getting stretched back in off the start here. We are now double filed up back into position. Drivers can start to kind of pinpoint accuracy and pinpoint their shots up a little and really start to take full center aim of this. Ryan Dye had a great start out of the gate, but how much those tires did he tear up, having to get away here from Flinky Roberts as well as from Eric Breeding. I think he's about to find out the hard way here. Coming off the end zone of turn 3 into turn number 4 here, awaiting the command and awaiting the flag. Gonna hard line this bad boy up off of turn number 4. Waiting for that start here as he comes off the distance. Into the turn now, fire back up, green flag back on out, we're back on our way. John K in the number 2 already making for some hard dashing and hard charging right up to that front here, trying to get up ahead of Lincoln Roberts as K looks kind of on to the run. Backed into a corner though here. We got some other battles going on. Simrad I'm dealing with here. Salomon and 99. Salomon right now looking to try and kind of pinpoint an accurate shot to the bottom and then cross him over off the top of Simrad. But Simrad not giving him very much room there. Speaking of not getting much room here, you see a little bit of movement here from that the Rodal 21 F-150. That is Jeff Langston. He's trying to take some moves here. He's trying to make some big spots up. He's going for big. He's going for broke. And does indeed force Michael Dean in the same 3 to shift up a little bit. The weight transferred up to that wall protection. Had nowhere to go or get out of. And that takes full control of it. Ryan Dye still got a 2nd and a 10th ahead of the field right now. Flinky Roberts trying to get back up to him here as John K continues to hold down the line. Hold down, put it on the pace. And look who's behind them all again. We talked about a minute ago who was hard charging. Well, this man's a manimal, I tell you. Carson Mitchell. He's 14 spots up already, folks. That is a scary thought. If a guy literally, we're only about, what, a couple laps into this race, really? And this cat's already moving the chains up at some folks. I would be a little nervous about some of these guys on the long run. But then again, he could be tearing it up on the short run here, so he may be getting a little too observant right now, a little bit absorbent on his tires and how he's thinking that's going to work out for him. Rodney Roberts here in the 28 Mobile 1 machine, also trying to keep some tags on the track here. He's 5 spots down here from where he started in qualifying here, unfortunately, looking to try to build the momentum back up. Jan Van Leer as well, propping up a great performance last time out. Unfortunately, did not end up getting the win though, ended up finding himself in the worst possible end of the times, if you will. Looking to make up the distance and looking to make it up for this one here. He's going for big, he's going for broke early on. And you can just feel the power these things have when they come off the line to these corners and come off of these exits here. There's so much ramped up initiated starts, initiated worlds amongst themselves that it's just flat out impressive. We talked about Zittel earlier on here. If you have to remind you at home though, last time we had saw that man out of the track, he got what we were told our very first winner here. Jan Van Leer, while he's saying Andy Politsky's the name is actually pronounced Politsky. I know it used to go out too. Oh, okay. So I guess I messed up on my end here. That was my fault, guys. Well, I did say it, everyone. If I mess up your name, feel free to come at me and let me know. I do not want to mess up on names like that. Politsky is actually running in the 2nd spot right now, so it is. So it's not Politsky, guys. It's Politsky. Politsky. You remember that now. John K saying, Dan, you're my favorite driver as well. Right now, I think he's will appreciate that comment, sir, and he's trying to make some moves off into the distance here, trying to hang on. We're going back here to, of course, Kyle Zittel. I mean, what a story for him in this cat, man. This 53 Razor machine, never been to victory lane up till he's showcased last week here on PTM Racing TV. Got a huge win at one of the most famed tracks at Daytona International Speedway. I mean, that's a track, if you're going to get your first win on, why not it being that here? Uh-oh, trouble down there though. Trouble. We got a problem out here. Brantley Gainey Jr. and Carter Joe Keel with some problems down here. Major damage there on the number 22. Jan saying my name is pronounced like Jan as well. Jan Lear, right? Is that how you say it? Jan Yonlier? It's going to be a while if I can really remember that one, but I think that V is going to kind of confuse me, but if that is the case, let me know. Anyway, let's take a look at the PTM replay, though, see what the heck happened here as well. Looks like the Genuine's around 25, comes up into the wall protection, gets that 22, unfortunately, and damage done to Carter Keel. Finding himself in a very bad very bad spot. This is the thing you're going to see a lot of today. It's just the drivers coming off the corners and coming off the exits. They're going to find themselves in tight positions to really hold these things online, because this thing will not hold in like it would. Ah, Jan Van Leer, I got you now. Thank you for the clarification. Looking right off here. Look at this. So turn 2. You can see how hard that thing was steering in left. It was not turning left because, again, the tires were tore up. The rear end was kind of out of shape and out of place. And there's not a whole lot you can do from that end, from that spot. And he knew it, too. Damage done up on these drivers now. They'll have to get squared back up into position here as they're already getting into the double file situation yet again. We're about ready to get back to the green, folks. Whoop. Technical difficulties here. Stand by. There we go. Fallen, not forgotten, 132 right now, still underway out of pit road. Looks like Ryan Dye actually getting put back a few spots. Blinky Roberts and Ryan Pittman taking full opportunity of that chance and that momentum here. Could be a difference maker, could be a chance to really make up for the ground clearance here. Well, actually, no, Ryan Dye did not go into pit road. The one I'm hearing is Dalen Frazier and Sam Dunaway had gone in, so interesting there. We'll have to see how that plays out here as we bring the green flag back on out. And you can just see too how quick everyone is literally moving in and moving the chains on, ready to get running down for the edge, just trying to find some speed up on the track here. Now let's see if I get it right this time. Jan Van Leer here now on the number 5, moving up. Pass down below, gets a little charge off on that 26. Eric Breeding, big problems down there, unfortunately. Can't keep the truck online, can't keep the truck in place. Something going wrong down there for Breeding. May have a little bit of bleeding under the right side of that hood there. You see the truck has got an open wound, and it's not going to get closed anytime soon until it gets out into pit road. Will Salabone in the 99 now moving up in position to take on Jeff Langston as he tries to keep the speed going. And up for the battle for the race lead. How about this? 3-truck battle for this one. Ryan Dye already back into the hunt. He takes the outside, but here comes Andy Politsky in the number 32 down on the inside. Big slurve coming off of turn number 4. And position taken. Politsky is new leader. Jan Van Leer, appreciate it, sir. That was a huge move there for Politsky there. He knows he needed to make that move quick. He needed to make the move fast. Otherwise, it was going to be a long ordeal for him and that crew. He sees the long run shaping up. He sees how difficult these drivers are going to make it for him here. And he already got around Ryan Dye. Now just needs to stay in the clean air and stay away from trouble. Or at least until trouble finds him. Watch out for number 4, Mobile 1. Are you sure Kevin Harvick didn't take this thing out and he just changed his name to Carson Mitchell? This really looks like a Harvick run because he's playing the closer right now in that Tundra. Absolutely crazy performance here, and really some hitting hards and hitting on the charts here, trying to find some speeds, trying to find some positions up from the rest. Everybody looking at the position control, trying to find some openings here. Again, you can just see not a lot of room to really make mistakes there, not a lot of areas to give up. Ryan Pittman in that 08, finding that out the hard way, still kind of having a bad corner there as he tried to fight with Langston and Salomon. Langston, though, not giving him any breathing room there. And they'll tell all Number 21 Ford F-150 right now in a good position to keep the strength and keep the speed going, but needs to be careful. Still a long way to go here in this race. Over 100 laps left to go still in position, and the battles continue on, pressing on great lead here. Down on the back straightaway here yet again now. Michael Dean, the 73, and Paul Ellison working their way around. Carter Jokiel, problem down there at 25. He'll go into pit road and call it a day. It looks like what a tough break there for Jokiel. Couldn't seem to get out of his own way today and couldn't seem to find a way out of his own way. And that really just shows how difficult Miles the Monster loves to mess with these guys out here. Coming down around off the exits here, yet you can see more positioning and more control. Solomon using some good traction on Langston. Langston not able to hold him back, and that will take full control of this race here for him. You see him more often than not, just how many more drivers are getting to where they're starting to tighten up. They're starting to get too loose on some of these corners. Most of the time, though, here at Dover, you'll see it tighten more than you'll see it loosen because the way the bankings here, these progressive bankings play out, makes for some very tricky scenarios and very interesting long haul battles here when it comes to the hard racing aspect of Dover. And we've seen here too where some guys may get a little too pointing, a little too over the top, and that may end up costing them big time here with that 550 horsepower package so that the Gander Outdoor Truck Series have at their disposal. I guarantee you that a lot of these guys try desperately to find every ounce of extra horsepower they can get. Jeremy McKinnon, that Ford F-150 Ford Performance, number 20 and number 12. He's 20 spots up. Y'all talk about a hard charger award. Give that to him and Carson Mitchell. Both tied at 20 up right now in the field. Ryan Dye, who was your race leader for a really good time here, falls to Politsky here though in the race lead candidate because he has taken full control of this race now. Using the fresh airflow around the car, using the power that he has at his disposal, he is not leaving anything up to chance. He's making sure Dye stays way behind him in the field. Well, look at the focus too. You can just see how smooth, how centered off he is in those corners. You notice how he barely steers it in. You can see just that little bit, all it takes. Goes from about a 12 to a 11 o'clock position here in the turn and in the way they bank him off. That is a good sign. That means he's not having to abuse too much up and the truck is rotating around the track as well as he needs to. Jan Van Leer here in the Inca Cola, number 5 here, also trying to keep ahead there on that 28 of Rodney Roberts as Michael Dean, the 73, looks to try and maybe make a pushback at them both. Michael Dean trying to be the dean of the head, and the student of all, trying to stay ahead of the transition, trying to keep a big position up on the grounds here. But you gotta wonder too, you know, when we're getting a little bit later in this race, you know, when is fuel and tire strategy going to be put into effect here? It's still a very long distance to the end, and these drivers know it. Josh Maxwell here piloting it up in the 8 Chevrolet today here, trying to get something going here, but is way behind pace, although he's up 3 spots from where he started in qualifying, which was 24th. He's still ways away from making any big significant moves here, really big workouts here. Then again, that could be due to just kind of timing his strategy here, maybe watching himself on the long haul, maybe trying to watch out for it here. John Kane, the 2 falling down to Carson Mitchell a little earlier on now, trying to get up ahead, back at it with that Mobile 1 machine. as both drivers continue to kind of dictate the pace, dictate the controls here. Let's take a look at the best lap times here between our drivers so far. And this is a bit of a doozy here right now, folks. Looking at the lap times, we're looking at a solid 23.45 set by Andy Poliski in the 32 as our fastest time so far. But that does not necessarily say he is the fastest of them all, because Carson Mitchell was really at 23.49. And that was really kind of the beginning of his terror rampage here on this track, and really starting to make full control, as most of our times have been kind of around in the 23 sixes to 23 sevens. Their average time right about now is about 24.6 to maybe even a 25 flat. That just shows you how much these tires are wearing thin already on these trucks, and how much it's already becoming a bit of a nuisance for drivers to have to work around. And again, Dover Motor Speedway, I mean, this, again, we knew going in, this was not going to be, with a faint of heart, this was not going to be an easy race for these guys. They were going to have to find themselves in some troublesome spots. They were going to have to work around a few areas, and they were going to need to keep up control and keep up the distance here. Of course, here the title says it all here, the fallen, not forgotten. 132 here, obviously paying tribute to the boys down that have lost their world, lost their lives here in the Memorial Day weekends. We've said before, our men and women that have served our country and served this great nation. Without them, we truly would not have been able to get where we have gone and where we have been going here in our great world and our great landscape and sea of shining sea. For that, I know Memorial Day is over and done with, but from all of us, PTM Racing TV, we will always say it with pride in our heart. We thank you truly for serving your country, and thank you for always being there to keep us safe. Back in the pack right now, kind of looking up through the ranks here. Dylan Frazier in the 38, currently holding back Jox Maxwell in the number 8 here as Frazier qualified 20th. He is in 20th, but he's about to deal with lap traffic here as Andy Podolitsky comes right behind him and goes straight to the bottom lane. A lot of teams out on the track here, of course, working together, working for any kind of charge, any kind of squeeze they can get. You can even see Frazier trying to avoid trouble, but almost finds himself in trouble there. Got a little too close for comfort, I'd say, for Ryan Dye in that 15. This is the thing about short track racing we talk about constantly is, you know, when is the time you're going to start having to go through lap traffic, and then if lap traffic wise, can they stay out of trouble, and can they stay out of proverbial bad spots, if you will, from the long haul to the long distance, because it can get very tricky when it comes to that kind of racing mentality. We've always seen it before where if someone puts a lap down, they may either let you pass them, or they'll just say to heck with you and just really race you out. And even more so, you got troubles like this here where literally guys behind are trying to battle out for position here, as now we're going to have to go 3 wide, so then just for a brief moment, Frazier, Pittman, and Maxwell, lap traffic right now being a major problem for Carson Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get around both of them for the price of one, but he's stuck kind of in between here. He'll give John Kay a chance to come back up into the ranks here and back into position. This is the worst spot you can be in, because this track will not make it easy to pass. Hold the line down, hold the charge off, and you see now Frazier letting him by, finally give him an opening, but Maxwell sees an opening as well, looking to try to take full control of that chance here. Couldn't quite clear him. Looked for a shot in the arm, looked for an opening there, did not quite work out the same way he was hoping for. Pretty good stuff here from the boys in the back, but the boys going to the front here, maybe not so much here. Jan Van Leer in the 5 in as well as Jeremy McKinnon. Looking to go at it one more time by on the track here as McKinnon is on the attack. 19 spots up here for the number 12. He's trying to take Jan Van Leer's position here as Jan currently hangs in. Pittman giving up the line, giving it up here for the Inca-Cola, number 5. And you can just see how much movement and work around here for you. Such a tricky little track, such a little crazy little position to be put into, I'll say. Kyle Dubik down the 18, up in the binders here. He's got company below him, Flinky Roberts, who really a surprise to me. Flinky had a strong showing earlier on, but now finds himself in a bit of a bad spot here because he gets thrown back into the pack here. But we'll move up ahead as he gets around the SP Design Monster Energy Juice Java machine. Remember Flinky was really at the highest point. He was up into the second spot. Oh, wait a minute. Trouble for Carson Mitchell. Troubles. And the guy that literally was taking this race by storm ends up in a very bad omen spot here. Something going wrong down there for the number 4. Whoa. And the Mobile 1 Toyota Tundra. What a position to throw himself into. This is not what he had expected, but here's the thing. Lap traffic caused the number 2 John K to come back up to him. And this right here is just a sign of the drive and a telling of the tale. A one wrong slip up off that corner and it could be game over. Mitchell literally trying to stay out of the way of trouble. Does get out of the way of most of the drivers, but still finds himself in a very innocuous spot here. We'll take one more look at it for the PTM replay of his nose cam here. Okay, just brought it down slightly from the top of the hill, and again you can just see what kind of damage that can do. Is, boy, this would have been a sight to see. Mitchell, I gotta believe, not happy at all about that one, but there's really not a lot he can do here. He's gonna have to now really dictate the pace up again and hope for the best. Pit stops being made right now here on the show as we're getting back up to the green here in just a second. Laps in, we have now hit halfway point here, and Andy Politsky, the number 32 driver, currently holding the Old Glory. That big red, white, and blue is your race leader, with Dye in second and third being John K. McKinnon and Jan Van Leer now moving into the top 5. Field marching their way back onto the track and back into their zone here. We're ready to get back to it here in just a minute. The pace starting to thicken. The driver starting to get just a little bit more edgy here. Down to the end they go here. You see him coming off the distance off of turn number 4 this time on by. Let him loose, boys. Get it green back out. We're back on our way. Our flagmen here today, Billy Mitchell Joel, running that old flag up on the track and sending our boys down their way. And it's not merry way. It's literally the world of the Monster Slayer, the Monster Mile right now. Keeping a close eye on these boys, looking to take a next driver with him. Jan Van Leer now in the 5, moving up ahead. Michael Crowell here trying to hang in there. Michael Crowell here has been a little bit more paced up here. He's been staying consistent, going 3 spots up here. Started back in 9th. He's been hanging in with these boys, but you know he's not exactly out of the woods or out of the hunt yet with some of these other drivers. They're currently looking to take his position over. Out of the 27 drivers we came on with today here, folks, so far, Only 18 on the lead lap and only about, I'd say about 24 running right now here on this track. And it's now turning into that one single file group here as Jeremy McKinnon here takes hard charger award to a whole nother level here. Look at this. Power, speed, and endurance coming up there at Andy Politsky. Politsky's race lead is being detrimental here. It's being taken over. McKinnon looking to try to grab it around. He's got a full throttle assault coming his way. Oh, there it is, straight to the inside. Huge dash to the bottom. McKinnon taking this one away now. Yokuma Ford F-150 going ahead of Politsky. Politsky will have to try to dive it back in, start to really take the reins of this race. That was a huge move there, entering off that corner in a very tight little spot to throw yourself in. He knew he had to make a move sooner or later and had to go in from the rope. Michael B. Dean says Crawl sounds like Crawl. Oh, it's Crawl? Is it Michael Crawl or is it Crow? Crawl? I'm gonna say Crawl from now on. I guess that's what it is. My apologies, Michael. I get it, guys. If I get your names wrong, feel free to come at me. I will not hate you and I will not get mad. I promise you. I'm trying to get your name down. Crawl. Yep, Crawl. Alright, good to know there, Dean. Thank you, sir. By the way, if you guys are wondering at home right now, they're currently talking to me through the race chatter here down on the truck series. So they actually have the radio right now in their trucks, and they're currently just having some fun messing with me while reminding me at home what they're doing here. So Michael Crawl right now currently dealing with Langston behind him, Ellison, Dean, and Lamone right now right back in the field here, keeping up the distance, keep up control. These boys looking for any kind of charge, any kind of distance they can get off into the corners. Bit of a rough dash coming up now. Salamone in the 99 going right down into the bottom lane here, making for a charge and a half. We got Russell going, get tough, going, gets rough kind of racing. This is their style, folks. This is the way they like to do it, and they know it. Rodney Roberts here in that 28 Mobile One Chevrolet Silverado, dealing with a little bit of a glitch traffic gremlin, man, blinking back behind that. Paul Ellison, better be careful here. He's having some problems there. Top 5 on your screen right now, just showing you the distances and the distance travel here between those boys and how far they are from one another. And you can see McKinnon how much of a lead he's got on these guys. It's what we said earlier on. If you can get to the front quick and you can keep the airflow around your truck as fast as you can, the clean air will work with you. And this race turns more into then a long run tire fuel strategy that dictates a lot of these guys out on the playing field and out on the scene, making for some incredibly different control and different positions here to throw into. Jeff Langston continuing to make his way in, kind of fighting around. And race fans, I think if you guys are ready, I think we're ready too. How's about we just kind of turn the mics off for a second, let the drivers do the talking. It's time to put the pedal to the metal. Oh, trouble down there, a little troubles unfortunately here right down on the track. Looks like we got one off track here. Gary Rainey and Rodney Roberts involved in a bit of a situation here. See if we get a camera crew down there. There we go. There it is. Producers, get that. Crank it up off here, please. Thank you. Time to take a look here and see what happened to Rodney Roberts here and see what went wrong to the 28. Looks like a big little pile up on I-235 down there. Well, from my angle, there was a lot of swerving around. Oh, man. A huge hit and a big pile up down in turn 3. Multiple drivers involved. I think I saw Rod. I know I saw Rodney. I think I might have seen Salomon involved. I know Langston looked like he was kind of the one that got kind of cooked up the most. Let's see what happens here. Wow, I had to swerve through traffic. That was a really bad angle to be put into and a tough little spot to get thrown down into. Rainey gets into it. Takes a huge hit there. We'll take a look at that 17's onboard camera here. I guarantee you he was not too thrilled with what he saw here. That it looked like a very tough little hit. Try to avoid it, but again, just not enough time, not enough place to get around, or not enough real estate as well. Wow. Talk about a tough break there, to say the least, here between these drivers here, as the field currently is getting stretched back into place here. Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties on our end here. Well, if we can get that technical difficulties out of the way, come on now. There we go. Yeah, if you guys are wondering at home, when we put that up, it's because the field's slowing down a little bit on our end. That's not what this is supposed to look like. So as usual, we don't want that to happen. We want to fix it up as soon as possible. Thankfully, we got that hit up there. Okay, saying that Golden Eagle scheme is slick too, and Kyle Zittle saying into the cockpit from the hood. That's a sick camera angle there. It really is, my friend. Rainey saying what's sick is that razor paint scheme. Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah, Zittle ran that 53 into victory lane, that same scheme last week, excuse me, at Daytona International Speedway. Looking to put up another one here as our field now gets settled back down and put back into position. Race fans, we're going to bring them back to the green flag. Let them loose, let them through. Here they come, down to the end. Blitzky once again got a great jump here. John Kay will have to hunt him down. And laps starting to dwindle down here. This could get very tricky here from the later half. Well, McKinnon earlier on had so much speed and momentum, but he kind of forgot what it means when you have to deal with someone coming up for you. Blitzky pulling the same move, just like he got sown earlier. Blitzky getting straight to the bottom, looking to take it from McKinnon, but McKinnon able to block, keeps the outside down to the bottom. He blocks the run, the airflow continues to strike. What a move there by McKinnon, able to keep Blitzky at bay, but how long will that last for? Can he hang on to it just a little longer, you think? Wild little place to be put into, and wild little spots really thrown down around at. Dylan Frazier, who was lapped down earlier, getting the lap backs now, thankfully just by some luck and some help there from the other drivers. He's got the 38 now on a full throttle charge back into this space. As he gets it right up to Garrett Rainey in the 17. Both side by sides that come through the corners. Pascal Simrad here in the 76, and that's 73. And Michael Dean here also coming from that little hiccup they had earlier on. Dean was able to escape there with the truck in one piece, thankfully. But he definitely could say he got very, very fortunate that it was not a lot worse than it could have been. Still your hard charger so far here, and I actually missed a little position up or two here. Politsky actually getting around McKinnon here, taking the race lead away, and McKinnon starting to fade. Here comes the number 2 here. It's time for a Fabco machine to go running through the field as the Fords are dominated by John Kay. Now trying to take full control of this race. Timing's starting to be a very crucial spot. It's trying to really dictate the momentum and the moves here. Michael Crawl very aware of that here as well as he tries to keep it going with himself. Crawl looking at Jan Van Leer's number 5 here, the rear view corner, looking to maybe see if there's a way around him or if they'll have to give him the old boot scoot and run. Or you may know it as the bump and run. Although I would say with this track, this type of layout, good luck trying to make sure that thing does not get too wobbly when you get on a little hit or nudge in the back. I've had a bump and run a few times here, and believe me, it's not the easiest thing to do. Duke's Real Mayonnaise number 73 here. Michael Dean trying to keep the damage prone up. 38 of Frazier behind him and trying to stay on the verge of this one. But you can just see how much tempoing and off throttle control they're having to go for. They're trying to watch themselves, but they're trying to watch the speed limits here. The tires can only take so much and they know it. And they're trying to keep all that power, all that endurance up in their full grasp. Last week's feature winner, Kyle Zittel, moving in the top 10 here. He's going to be a guy, in my opinion, you might have to keep an eye out throughout the entire bit of the season. Trying to show the world last week was no fluke. He can hang with these boys. Haskell Simrad here in the 76 also did a pretty good job there as well. As you see, Zittel will have to admit defeat on the long run. He goes into pit road now. Heads for pit road, heads for the rest of the reigns. Back into the bottom goes Eric Breeding here in the number 26 as he's looking for a charge and a half. You're looking for an opening. Just under 30 laps remaining here as we're currently looking closer and closer to a finish. Garrett Rainey got flipped up there with the 17 a little earlier. Does have a slight bit of damage. Doesn't seem to face him just yet as he tries to hang on. Now still having a little bit of a problem down there, and that 53 got a little off track there for a minute, goes into the grassy plain, opened up his own lawn care service for a second, but does get at least restructured back up. And right now your race leader, Andy Politsky, just completely blitzing this entire field. That threat, remember that clean air and that horsepower that he can garner and control on the track is what's really helping him out so much here. And it's what's making it so difficult here on the tires of McKinnon here. He knew that that run was kind of left behind, left to be not forgotten. Fresh tires on this track is really like a saving grace. It's really like that. If you ever actually needed like a big boost, like you're going to the gym, right? You need some kind of little extra kick to get ready for the games and make hay there. It's literally like that. It's like a pre-workout and you're right before you go for the big day and you go for the big run here. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's got out of this. He's winning the pit road at the right time, strategized perfectly about McKinnon, and now with this one really starting to creep in and take this one up. Creeping and crawling their way in through the field, still leftover laps here and lap traffic right now, still dealing with one another here. Jan Van Leer in the 5, still holding in the top 5. Dylan Frazier, good lord, dude. He was literally a lap down a couple of laps ago, and now this cat is moved into a top 5 position. You want to talk about no quit, no surrender, no give? That is impressive. Now again though, he's not going to have enough on the fuel run to make it to the end, so he knows that he's going to have to put it up sometime or another here, but you got to give the man his due and give him credit for this one. That takes a lot of guts, and it takes a lot of expertise to really know what your truck's going to do or what your car's going to do to get to that point, get to this moment here, and he was well aware of that. has now blitzed Jan Van Leer into the inside zone. The Inca Cola now is in trouble of losing a spot up. 16 goes up. Frazier moves into 4th. And picking a hard charge on their way back in. It looks like his teammate here in that big old 67. That is Sam Dunaway. 19 spots up for this boy as he's going right up here for Michael Brown's rear bumper. Looking to take full control of this one as well and maybe take some advantages here. So much on the line, so much playing field right now between these drivers here. As currently everybody looks to gain up ground, gain position to go through. We're down to only about 28 laps left to go. Andy Politsky blitzing this entire field. The lead between him and John Kay, a full 1.5 seconds ahead. But will he be able to last out that long? It remains to be unknown. And look at this now, Dunaway to the inside. Kroll not able to hold him back here as the 67 takes full control of the highlights here down in Dover, Delaware. And Dean actually heads into pit road as well here, so that will help him get squared up right now to get for the last bit. But fuel and tires definitely put into question. Where do the drivers stand and where will they be standing here in the later half? That remains to be a big selling point here. See the 22 down below. He is a lap down, unfortunately, here as right now currently trying to just give himself some breathing room. Brantley Gainey Jr. though not too happy about this race, I would presume. Not going to be too thrilled about having to watch this one back and think, where the heck did everything go wrong? What does it say on the back of that truck? Wait a minute. Bruce, give me a camera angle there. That's how illusion is the ultimate weapon. Look at this. The illusion is the ultimate weapon. Well, alright then. I'll give Crawl that. That's pretty funny there. I think, if we're wondering at home what that means, he's basically saying to the guy that's behind him, when you get in front of someone, you see it all the time in dirt racing, where it's like, try to get around me, or like, you just got passed by something. Or, that's usually like his way of saying, don't worry, it's only an illusion. I'm not ahead of you right now. I'm pretty sure that's what he's making fun of right there. That's pretty clever, I'll give him that. Brian Dye in the 15 now. Looks like it's time to start making some charges up here. He sees the battle between him and Jan Van Leer as John Kay here tries to hang down and hang it loose and hang it still. The field stretched off here, starting to get closer and slide out through the field. Absolutely nobody is safe or clear of the long distance traveled here and the long distance that these drivers have reigned supreme with. Everybody putting on a last minute clinic and a last minute run here, and lap traffic also starting to make it very, very difficult for that race leader here of Andy Politsky. I think if I'm Politsky right now, I'm a little bit fuming knowing I have to continue to work around drivers left and right. I have to find a way around them and deal with their nonsense. Reading here in the 26 right now, continuing to drive off, drive quick, and drive in thick as can be. Hasn't really had any troubles here. But just marching to the beat of his own drum, marching to the track here on the edge as he knows. He's got a lot of time left to go. He's still got a lot of hard racing left in him. Oh, into the wall protection goes there now on the 26. A little bit of trouble down there. He's got to be careful. there we go. Finally got that camera off him. I think he broke my entire my button box down here. I couldn't get anything to change on him there. 18 laps left to go. John Kay second, Whiskey first, Guy third, Frazier in fourth, and Salomon right behind him, leading for the charge. Salomon really, in my opinion, probably been the most consistent driver of the bunch this entire day. He's only up 2 spots, started 7th, and didn't really fall back too far. Only went in the mid-pack for a time, kind of got left out there for a little while, and ever since then, he's just been back at it with these boys. Jeremy McKinnon, whoa, the Okuma 12. Big trouble down there for that F-150. What has happened to him there? Lost all that speed. Yeah, you saw him earlier having a chance to really take the lead and the win away, and now this is how quick a race can get you. This is why we always say in motorsports, do not count your chickens till they hatch, expect the unexpected, and watch yourself until that checkered flag has fallen, because this is what can happen to you. McKinnon is struggling. The truck is tightened too bad. It's getting way up on that wall protection. He needs to be careful here and get this race finished before it might be too little too late. He's a lap ahead of some boys here, but that don't mean nothing for some of these guys. They'll come up quick at him. Ryan Pittman even uses some of that strategy to his advantage here and moves into the 11th spot, now taking full aim and control. Had found himself in a very tight little area earlier, being put a lap down and then being put behind the leaders here by a good margin. But with only 14 laps left, it's really anybody's guess here. As you can see what fresh tires will do for you on this track, my word. Michael Crawley literally just went by him like he was sleeping. He's just maneuvering. He's just kidding all these guys for what it's worth here, man. That was the 88 there. He just passed up. That was David Fay there. He got around. Unfortunately, David, his other teammates getting far ahead of him and not quite doing the same procedure he was expecting him to. 13 laps left to go. Andy Politsky right now blitzing and cornering off. One more set, one more go. 12 laps remain. And you can just see how much stress levels are being put up. I guarantee if I had a heart monitor on these guys right now, they'd probably be losing it here. McKinnon now with a little bit of company down below him. Here comes Pascal Simrad here. Simard. Why do I say Simrad? Simard here is right now moving up the chains. Gets full control. The 7218 is a lap down, so he'll get his position back. McKinnon looking to get Simard back though at it. With about 11 laps to go with 10 round ranging up on him. McKinnon though back into the wall protection again. Those tires right now, I guarantee you, have got to be shot up, and that thing is completely at its mercy of the Monster Mile himself. Miles the Monster has no quit and no give. He does not care who you are or who you come from. He only knows one thing, and that is to make your life as useful and as inducing as it can get. Simard yet again passed up like he was standing still. Crawl trying to move the chains up ahead. 790 here. Tristan Underwood going to be passed up here by the number 2. John Kay as the Fago 2 moves up ahead. The 90 here at Underwood. Trying to stay out of the op zone here. And again, guys, if you haven't seen our show before and you haven't seen us here on PTM Racing TV, then feel free to like and follow us up here on our channel here on Facebook. Head over our YouTube as well and subscribe there so you guys never miss the beat, you never miss a show. And oh, by the way, we still have one more big race coming your way today. It will be dealt with by the boys down in the Misfits iRacing League. Stay tuned for that one because they will be at Richmond Raceway today. Action starts at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, here on PTM Racing TV's YouTube channel. So again, if you wanted a good reason to subscribe to us, that's where the live call is going to be today. Top 3 will be interviewed after this race as well, so be aware of that as well too, folks. as we currently are getting closer to the end here. 7 laps remain. Michael Dean trying to be the dean of the students and put everybody back into their classroom. He's been doing a good job about it, but again, does he have enough time to do it? Because he's still ways away from Politsky, Dye, Kay, Fraser, and Salamone. But there is one good news for him, is that he's right up there with the top 6 that are on his lead on his lap, so he might have a chance here if he can get it to him. But that is where the troublesome problems come in. 5 laps to go here. You can just see Dye has already taken full control back ahead as the Salas F-150 has taken ahead of the number 2 John Kay, and the Fago machine passed up. Politsky still has a good lead though on Dye. I don't know if there's enough time here for Dye to take this one away from him. I've been very wrong before, and I really have to emphasize it again. Do not count your chickens till they hatch. 4 laps to go. Off of that corner there, and that timing there from Politsky, actually able to take Dye's time away from him. Lost a lot of ground there in the turn, so up for about a 2-second gap, but then shrinks it on the stretches. Good lord, man, Dye just completely taking full aim here. He got some great speed off the stretches here, and he is now looking to close them off again. 3 laps left. There is a slight chance, if Politsky gets the slightest bit loose or gives him any time up, this one will go in Dye's corner. You gotta be careful though. They'll have 2 more miles left to complete. We are now sending it down to a green flag, high in the air, 2 to go. Still a 2nd and 8 behind. Dye needs 1 more full throttle assault to get any chance here. Coming to the end and coming to the brink, race fans, we're going to come now down to a big white flag flying high in the air. Andy Politsky and the 32 sees white. He's got checkers next time by. Politsky now 1 last full throttle assault. Place possible to Dye. Now the speed's being put to good use into the final 2 turns. Off of turn 3 and to turn number 4. And Politsky will take this one to the cleaner. He takes it home at Dover. Impressive. What a race, and what a battle between Dye, Kay, Salamone, Fraser, and them all trying to take down with strategy and speed, but it's not to be. The man from Wichita Falls, the 32 Andy Politsky, will take this one home, and he's going to bring this 32 to victory lane here for the fallen, not forgotten 132. What a race. Oh, how about this? I guess you gotta pay tribute to a little friend of ours, Alan Kulwicki. It's time for a little Polish lap around the track. I think he just wants to say hello and thank you to his friends, his family, and also the folks that come serving their country and serving their world. I think he just wants to make sure that they all can see him, they can all know he is here and he is there for them. What a performance by him and that crew. He'll bring it around town here and just kind of finish this one up, so we'll let him do that while we take a look at our race results now concluding. Andy Politsky will blitz and take this field by storm. Wins this one out. Ryan Dye goes 2nd. John Kay 3rd. Will Salamone 4th. Dylan Fraser 5th. Eric Breeding 6th. 7th to Sam Dunaway. 8th to Pascal. 9th to Jan Vandelier. And Michael Dean goes 10th to round out the top 10 here in this field. But what a race fans. You talk about strategy, you talk about how difficult it is just to get around some of these tracks here and try to get into some of these positions. And right there, this was a great, great showing of just that and then some. While the time has come now here, we're going to go ahead and listen into our top three. I've got some help down there to help me out today, so take it away down there, boys.
Alright, here we are at Double International Speedway. Just finished the Venom Truck Series race here. We're here with the third place finisher, Mr. John K. John, you started P6 on the day. You come home third, made the podium. How'd you feel about the race overall?
Pretty good. I came into the day, I really struggled in practice yesterday, just struggling on long runs, so I was pretty much set on if I can have a top 10, that's an outstanding night, and I think to finish top 5 and behind Ryan and Andy on pretty wore-out stuff is pretty remarkable. I'm pretty happy with myself.
Yeah, you ran a really good race. You forced past your goal, man. Congratulations on that. What was your pit strategy? I know there was an early caution there. Everybody come down. What were you thinking after that? Were you planning on just stopping the one more time, or were you thinking to? Were you considering to stopping?
I was considering to. Obviously, my teammate Ryan was dead set on the old one stop, and I figured if I could stay on his back bumper, I would just kind of follow him. I might not be able to beat him doing what he was doing, but I figured if I stay on his back bumper and he was going to finish well, I could just follow him through everything. I considered the 2-stop, and then that late caution came out, and it really just threw a wrench in everything, and it really messed up a lot of plans. And at that point, it turned into follow the leader. Again, I wasn't going to beat Ryan or Andy. They're both really good on worn tires, and I was like, I'm not gonna run the risk of going 2 laps down that I'm not gonna be able to make back up. So I just kind of settled at that point and was gonna take whatever came at that.
Oh yeah, well, you've done a fine job, obviously. You mentioned the caution. There were 4 cautions in this race. Quite a few people decided to make a green flag stop there late, and it didn't seem to pay out for those guys. But yeah, man, you run a really clean, really good race. Good to see a top 5 finish from you. Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank my mom for letting me stay up late and annoy her. She's got a lot of stuff going on. Her room's all tore apart, so she's sleeping in the living room, probably listening to me ramble like an idiot right now. And I'd like to thank all the veterans that have given their life to help protect our freedoms. It was Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, and we couldn't do this stuff without the brave men and women that have laid their lives on the line, and that continue, all the veterans that continue to lay their lives on the line. So very, very thankful for all those people.
Absolutely. Congratulations, John, on a top 3 finish.
Thank you.
All right, next in the booth, we've got Ryan Dye. Started on the pole, Ryan. Come home P2. How are you thinking about this race?
I mean, I'm happy about my 800th P2, I feel like. A bunch of P2s won me the championship last year, so happy to get through Daytona last week and get back up front this week. Really fast car. I feel like I might have left a little bit too much there at the end. We still had 42% on the right front on that last green flag run. Probably could have pushed a little harder. I don't know if I might have been able to get up to Andy, but he ran a heck of a race, and I'll take a P2, and we'll head to Iowa next week.
For sure, man. You did lead 23 laps today. It seems you were on that same pit strategy that John was on, according to what he said. Were you content with that pit strategy from as soon as that early caution came when he pit? Were you dead set on stopping one more time, or did you consider the 2-stop?
I was pretty content with the 1 stop. I'd ran a 49 lap stint in practice over the weekend, so I felt pretty confident I could get up to 60 laps on my tires. And once we had that caution, that really helped me. I was definite on fuel then, and I felt pretty good about my tires. So I was going to 1-stop it the whole way, unless there was something in the last 10 laps or so where everybody's going to come down that has a set left. So I was content with it. I just wish I would have pushed just that much harder to see if I could have got up to Andy, but still happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like you guys' pit strategy worked out. Everyone that did stop, they never quite got back around to the leaders there. So I think it was the right call. Is there anybody you'd like to thank after this race?
Yeah, I'm going to echo John first and foremost. Obviously, yesterday was Memorial Day. This race was the fallen, not forgotten 132. So definitely thankful for all of our military that help keep us safe every single week. The ones that have lost their lives, we keep them in our thoughts, and we keep their families in our thoughts. I come from a military family. My grandfather was in the military, so we're definitely thankful for that. And I was just thank the guys in this league. We had a fun race tonight, and I'm super proud of this league and where we're at.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
All right, the man of the hour, Mr. Andy Politsky. Andy started on the grid P8, led the most laps, finished on top. How you feeling about tonight's race?
I'm ecstatic about tonight's race. I left a lot on qualifying. Just didn't put a very good lap down that I felt I could do. So I was very pleased as the race progressed. How much speed I had, and just kind of let the race come to me.
Absolutely, you led 85 of 132 laps. Definitely shows you have the speed to win the race. You only made one pit stop after the early caution. Was that your plan all along, or had you considered the two-stopper?
I actually considered splitting it. When we were going 100 to go, I was considering splitting it, and but I had run a lot of practice here, and I had figured some stuff out really late in one of my practices, and it just really worked really well. I knew what I could do for how long I could go before the tires blew, and it I actually even ran further than that tonight. So it's a really great run for our team.
Absolutely. Well, Andy, congratulations on the win. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I want to thank my sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls. They came on board this season. I want to thank John and Ryan said, thank all the soldiers that have given up their lives for us, let us do what we want to do. Ran a very special paint scheme for this race tonight, just to honor all those that have fallen for us. I as well grew up in a military family, so I appreciate everything the military does for us. Appreciate everybody in this league. It's an awesome league. Great to come in here every week and race with some of the best.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Andy, on your win, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and that about wraps it up from Dover International Speedway. Venom Truck Series, once again, we've got Andy Politsky with the win, and we will catch you next week.
We certainly will indeed. Thanks, guys, Stan, for helping me out down there at Dover Motor Speedway here. They changed it up there because of the buyout, so keep that in mind, guys. As well, I'll say Dover Motor instead of International from now on. But yeah, some people always will be Dover International. But race fans, thank you so much for tuning in here tonight, here in the day action here down in Dover, Delaware. We have still got some racing to go. We're going to travel a little bit down south. We're heading to Virginia next. Richmond, Virginia. We'll see the boys of the Misfit iRacing League, their SLM series on our YouTube Live here in just a little while. But again, if you heard them clear, they're heading to my state next week. We're going to Iowa. It's time to head home. It's time to go back home once again. And there's one thing I know, trucks at Iowa are something to watch. So stay tuned with us. Keep it real as well. We really appreciate it, guys. From us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies.